let's begin with quick intros. Maybe Ben.
Yeah, sure. My name is Ben. I'm trying to get my streaming software to go live right now, so I should be going live right now as we speak. But my name is Ben with BitBoy Crypto. We are the largest crypto channel in all the interwebs, and I've been in the space since 2018, full time, and the Bitcoin maxis hate me, and altcoin people love me. So that's pretty much what we do.
All right. Congrats, Ben. Let's go to Alex.
What's up, guys? My name is Alex Lorenzo. Got a crypto YouTube as well. Not as big as Ben, though. He's definitely the GOAT.
We love Alexander. He's awesome.
I try to get videos out when I can, but I've been in crypto for a long time. Watch these guys, by the way. I watched these guys. These are the OGs here. And now life came full circle, and I'm right back with you guys over here. But yeah, cryptocurrency for a long time, education, the whole experience. Yep.
Awesome. Crypto Love.
What's up? I'm Crypto Randall from Crypto Love. I started a channel back in 2017. Been making videos, hanging out with these guys, having a good time. Love being in the crypto space. Like just recently had an event where it reminded me how awesome of a community we have here, like some of the best people on earth. So I'm just excited to still be making videos with you guys.
Awesome. Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill Noble. I'm Ian's chief technical analyst. I've got a background from Legacy, discovered crypto in early 2017, worked a little bit for Charlie Shrem, and then came over to TOKENMETRICS.
And coming to us live in HD.
Right.
Live in HD. Close shave.
Hey guys, my name is Forrest. I'm a senior cryptocurrency investment analyst at TOKENMETRICS. The main part of my job is to sift through hundreds of cryptocurrencies every single week, hundreds of projects, and find the hidden gems that can 100x. I've been in crypto for quite a while now, and I also support the channel, the YouTube channel, and live streams with some content.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm getting no audio on my end. Just bear with me here. Apologies. Having some technical issues here.
All right.
Are they getting audio from us?
Yeah, hit like, if you can hear me, hit CL. If you can hear Alex, hit AL. If you can hear BitBoy, hit type sexy. If you can hear...
I like that.
Anybody in particular you can't hear, or everybody?
Issue is on my end.
Can't hear us.
You guys go ahead.
Is on check your Zoom, the Zoom audio settings. Those can get off sometimes. So yeah, well let's talk altcoins. I mean that's what we always talk about, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you guys? What's the hottest pick you guys got going right now?
I got
pick. All right. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No, please, Alex.
All right. So I go ecosystem wise. So specifically, I've been looking for closed blockchain NFTs. So I don't know. I kind of want to start the conversation around that angle. Do you guys have some NFTs that you've been looking at? I've been looking at specifically Flow.
Oh, Flow. Yeah. Kind of hard to buy, I think, for Americans, right?
Yep.
So that's a lot of those times, when you have those projects that are hard to buy, they're great opportunities. And what I'm finding is, because I've been talking a lot about NFTs on my channel lately, just did it today, did it a couple of days ago as well, is that I'm finding a lot of newer people to the channels or to crypto in general. They don't know how to use Uniswap. So if it's not on Binance or Coinbase or one of these major exchanges, they don't know how to get it. So many people asking me how to buy Eternity, which is a big one I'm really big on right now. And it's just Uniswap. But, then you got to have a video to show people how to use it. Sure. But what I think is really interesting about NFTs, if I could for a second, we just had a story that came out today. FATF, FATF, I like to call it FATF, is the Financial Action Task Force. It's like a multi-country body that works to try to straighten out, they're like financial watchdog is what they are. And they came out today and specifically changed their wording to be where right now they're trying to go after DeFi projects, but they specifically said fungible tokens. So non-fungible tokens, NFTs today have pretty much got the green light. So I think we're going to see, a lot of the NFT projects become what DeFi was in early 2020.
I was literally going to ask that. So you think it's going to get like the $90 billion market capitalization and start jumping up relatively soon?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I look back at early 2020 and I kind of slept on DeFi in the beginning of the year. And what started happening is you start having these projects that would pop up like Compound. It just kind of just zoomed out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, I missed it. And then what happened? It just kept going and it kept going. And all the DeFi projects just kept going. Aave, obviously, another one, like 68,000% or something like that returns, like insane returns. And so you started like catching wind that, oh man, this is popular, this is bubbling, but you felt like you missed it. But then it just kept going for like 6 more months. And that's kind of, I think we're right at that jump point right now.
Dude, and you talk about DeFi coins pumping. I was looking at DeFi Pulse Index because that's basically like an index fund of the top DeFi projects, which makes sense because traditional investing, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but it's hard to beat just an S&P index fund. And this looks like a DeFi index fund.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like with NFTs, like Forrest did some digging on this coin Audius, symbol audio. And what I'm seeing with this NFT phenomenon, like video, audio, art, and I feel like the next evolution of this NFT thing is going to just totally disrupt, like, the Googles, the iTunes, and all these music streaming services, because the music services are going to get into video. The music and the video guys are going to get into art. And then the next thing you know, you're going to have big artists coming in, buying these tokens so that they can participate on the platform. Consumers buying the tokens to get better access and also supporting their favorite artists. And when you start to hear the value propositions of these coins in this whole space, you start to go, this sounds somewhat familiar, except there's no big brother Silicon Valley player in the middle. And I'm like, well, no wonder this stuff is rocketing. It's not just it may not just be just the hot crypto thing of the moment. It may be a disruption of Silicon Valley. And we're even looking at stuff that could disrupt Wall Street. So this, like, what can crypto disrupt theme may be what's next.
Yeah, super bullish on Audius. The token is audio, and it's a decentralized music streaming platform. And I think it has phenomenal potential for a lot of reasons. But the big reason is that it's pulling in non-crypto people. So these projects that can go and pull in non-crypto people, like Chili's, Theta TV, you go to theta.tv and you're on a video streaming platform. Half the people there don't even realize that it's built on blockchain rails. Yeah. Right. Audius, same thing. Decentralized music streaming, 90% of the revenue is going to the artists, 10% is going to the node operators, right? With Spotify, it's like, I think there's been like multiple songs on Spotify, big, like #1 hits with hundreds of millions of plays, and the artists make like $9,000 off of it. Huge issue that they're solving. So very bullish on Audius.
Yeah, I think music is definitely going to be a disruptive force, or it's going to be disrupted by NFTs. And NFTs are not just for collectibles and even songs. Like, there's so many more use cases. Like, we're just breaking into like what's out there beyond collectibles. But the collectibles are getting super hot, and it is becoming very, very, very apparent that, this is the gateway of the mainstream. Like, it's so funny, right? Like, out of everything we've done over these last years, like, we made videos on like, oh, this could be the thing to bring the people in. It's a bunch of freaking trading cards, like that's what's getting them in. And they're so excited. You see Mark Cuban and Logan Paul and, Gary Vaynerchuk, like Gary V, he knows what's up. He knows what's up for sure. Hopefully going to get him on the channel here pretty soon. And he loves attention, and he knows where attention goes. We're building our company kind of, on a lot of his models. And if
Tell
he's
him I said hi.
I will.
When you get him.
Seriously.
Yeah. Hi or V, I don't know. But the fact is that he knows what's next. I know you guys probably know. Some of you guys probably know, like, I have a really big TikTok account. I've been big on TikTok for a long time, and I was leading the curve on that. And I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk also talk about how big TikTok was, and was like a great kind of like validation of what I had been telling everybody. And now to see what's going on with NFTs, and he's on that same tip. And you look at I mean, there's so many good projects right now in this space. Like you got Chili's, obviously, which could end up being the leader in the space. And you have Ecomi, and then you have Eternity Chain. There's another one coming out that's not even out yet. Eureka, that's Ureeqa. That's another one people are super excited about. And you just got so many different use cases going on for these that, I mean, I think the next 3 months are going to be like super fascinating. And we could see Bitcoin kind of like top out at some point if it hasn't already. And this may be the altcoin super cycle going straight into NFTs.
Dude, and Chili's is one that was on TokenMetrics for a while before it actually blew up.
Yeah.
And I was doing the videos about the top coins on TokenMetrics, and Chili's was up there. And I was like, how is this going to really actually do anything? And then...
The team's great.
Yeah, I had a great position on that I sold out.
You know, 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds, they're not going to want a portfolio of stocks.
No.
They're going to want a portfolio of NFTs that they think are going to rise in value over time.
Yeah.
So these NFTs are not just, you know, to maybe my generation, and they're like, hey, cool cartoons and baseball cards, etc. But they're going to be like securities to young people, investments. Right. And then if you consider that as a phenomenon, you know, that's like disrupting Silicon Valley and Wall Street at the same time.
That's right. Is Ian back with us?
Yes. So I'm back. Having
right.
some issues here, so just gonna do a screen share and record this and post the video afterwards.
Okay.
But I've posted the live stream on your site, on your channel. All right. So what are you guys pumped for the most right now in crypto?
Ian being back on the stream.
Great to be back. Miss you guys. So you guys were covering NFTs.
Yep.
DeFi. Anyone here doing yield farming or anything in DeFi at the moment?
I'm doing a little bit on Yearn. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit on Yearn, safer places.
Yeah, I got in on yield farming pretty early and have just been set it and forget it. The rates have been pretty solid throughout, and then permanent loss hasn't been that bad, especially on the Bancor stuff, obviously. But it's just been kind of a side portfolio, and it's just earning yield, and then I manage my other portfolio completely separately from my DeFi stuff.
How about you, Randall?
No, I kind of like the centralized finance at the moment. Like, I'm a big fan of Celsius. So, I mean, you know, you have to sometimes look at the person behind the project. And Alex Mashinsky, he's a triple unicorn like Elon Musk. Everything that he does for the people. He put Wi-Fi down on the subways. He built Celsius, which all of the profits they make, they give 80% to the community. So, like, I've been an early investor in Celsius, and I just like it because it's not 100% secure. Nothing is, but I think for a centralized solution, that's the place where I'm going to put my money. Yeah. And it gets awesome rates. Like Matic was getting 16%, and I was holding Matic in there forever, and then Matic just recently took off. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for us and for my company here, we need to hire someone to manage all that because like it's a lot of work, like working with the centralized exchanges and also with you know, the yield farming. Like I don't have any time to actually do it because I talked to I was on Graham Stephan's podcast, Iced Coffee Hour, a couple of weeks ago, or it's probably about a month ago now. And you know, Andre Geek, which you guys may know, he's a financial YouTuber who now makes crypto videos. But he had done the episode before me, and he had told Graham, like, hey, I'm getting like 8% on USDC. Like, I'm just making all this money. And you guys know the traditional finance people, they're like, 8%. Oh, God. Oh, it's incredible. And so, like, he brought me on. He's like, now I know you're doing this 8% with BlockFi. Tell me how much money you're making with that. I was like, yeah, I just don't really have time to do it. He couldn't possibly fathom that. Like, he thought that was the craziest thing he had ever heard. But, you know, like, we got all our stuff like locked down on vaults, and, you know, it's hard. You got to move it out, and then you got to move it over there. And then there's a lot of management, and then you're moving to a centralized place. And so really like for us, we're just like making money on crypto in general. That's what we're trying to do. And hopefully we're going to get some of that going with BlockFi and Celsius. We like Celsius and Alex too. So yield farming is something I've had a tough time with because, you know, I like the highly speculative ones. So I would get on something where I was making like really, really good yields, but then like everybody would be dumping the price as they were getting their returns, and then you ended up losing money. So I'm kind of done with yield farming right now. I'm looking at the NFTs. Maybe farming some on the NFTs is where we're going to be looking at pretty soon.
Awesome. Hey Ben, so you were pretty early on NFTs, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
NFTs, how's that doing?
Yeah, so we've got so much going on with NFTs. We actually just hired somebody full time to come up and run our NFT department. We've got we were very early on Rarible. We were the #1 seller on Rarible for a very long time over the summer. We made some BitBoy comic collectible cards, and then we were doing a comic book, and all that was going really well. But we're just not really like that happy with the Rarible platform, Rarible community. They didn't seem to really want us there. So we're in the process right now of moving off. We have a BitBoy card series coming out on Wax. It's going to be a really big Wax launch. I think it's in about 2 weeks. And then from there, actually having some conversations with Tops. You guys know Tops does the Garbage Pail Kids on Wax as well. And they're really, really, really big on NFTs right now. This is a big focus for them. And so we're talking to them about like gamifying our NFTs to be an actual like playable deck builder game virtually. And of course, we're going to be sending out like physical, cards as well, where they can be playable, both ways. So we got that going on. Then we've got another launch we're going to be doing with Theta here in a little bit. And then I can't say too much, but we've actually had some talks with some very like, I'll just say in a roundabout way, some major top like tier 1 athletes about doing NFTs for them. So that would be a little bit later on the road. We're really exploring now. Like we made money in NFTs, but I mean, we think what we have has value as well. But really, we want to get kind of focused right now on helping the mainstream influencer, athlete, celebrity to be able to launch their own NFTs. Because they're looking and they're being like, "Wow, NBA sure is making a lot of money off our likeness." They, and the athletes themselves want to get a little piece of that, and they've got fans. And when you think about us in crypto, right? If we make NFTs and we were to, send that out to our community's going to go, they're going to support us and stuff. But I mean, imagine if you had like Tom Brady who wanted to put out an NFT, all he's got to do is just go to Instagram, put up a link, and they're sold out in 1 minute. So, and a lot of people, they get really like, they're iffy about, is this a bubble? Is NFTs going to pop? And I just think like eventually all that's, the market's going to correct itself. NFTs are here to stay, period.
It's funny you say that. I was going to say, it's funny you say that because I have some people reaching out to me as well to create NFTs, influencers with like large amounts of followers, like definitely showing interest. Because I feel like before you'd have to sell merchandise, right? There would be something you'd have to sell to get your audience monetized, because basically the platforms take advantage of you, right? A lot of centralized platforms. Right. So I've been getting a lot of interest in that as well. Now that you say that, it actually kind of aligns with what I'm thinking about NFTs and what we were talking about a little bit earlier, how we can potentially see it become, as big as DeFi, right? So we're very early on. And I really do think that the social currency that these people have been amassing for very long periods of time, they kind of deserve this, right? It's like kind of like something that cryptocurrency has brought to them the same way it's brought freedom to us with finances, right? So yeah, I have a lot of hopes for NFTs as well. I've been diving really into
Now,
it.
do you guys think NFTs will be bigger than DeFi?
It's technically part of DeFi, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it can't be larger than DeFi, but I think sorry, I'm not trying to talk the whole time. I just mean like I think it's going to be as hot as DeFi was last year. Like, that's what I'll say.
I think the only time you have to worry about NFTs is if people start using it as collateral to like borrow money. So if you're like getting 3x levered off your Pokemon cards, that could smell a little bit like 2008, but I think we're kind of far away from that, right? As far as I'm concerned, if anybody wants to make an NFT of me, I am down.
Yeah, I think one thing to keep in mind is there's going to be a flood potentially of NFTs, and how do you separate the good NFTs that are going to rise in value versus the NFTs that are like Beanie Baby? Remember when everyone collected Beanie Babies? And I remember seeing videos of people in divorce court separating their Beanie Babies out because they thought they were going to be worth millions one day, right? So, just because something's an NFT, does it carry value? Well, in this bubble, maybe, but down the road, once the market sorts itself out, it'll be interesting to see what actually makes an NFT valuable.
Well, is there a way to invest in the growth of NFTs without buying individual NFTs? Is that by buying the platforms or what?
Buying the crypto, the coins.
I would say flow. Flow blockchain is the best NFT project out there in our opinion. So I think getting that is probably the best way to get exposure to NFTs without having to own actual NFTs.
Yeah. Well, because I think that, and this was something I was gonna, say a little bit earlier, is that you have two totally different, kind of use cases going on here. You have, like Bill was talking about, you're going to have these investors that are, going to want to have these in their portfolio. You were saying, well, they don't want stocks, but they would want, NFTs in their portfolios. But also, you're going to have people that want them because this is going to become, I've said, I think they're like going to be the new tattoos, like tattoos are phasing their way out, guys. I'm telling you, every kid born today, both their parents, are covered with tattoos. I was watching the NBA All-Star a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I cannot believe this is the first time I watched the NBA All-Star game in years and years and years. And like every player doesn't have full sleeves. Like they used to have full sleeves all the time, right? Tattoos have been kind of the way that people have and whether it's dyeing your hair, whatever it is, like show your individuality. But I think that now the NFTs that you have are going to be a way that you're going to be able to show your personality to people. Instead of getting like a Lakers tattoo, you go and you get a Lakers special edition NFT from NBA Top Shots. And kids are going to be carrying these around as like a sticker portfolio, not just, and it's of course mobile, it's going to be on their phone. So that's kind of the way I see it. Like that's what really the untapped potential here is. It's not just us on the crypto side, like wanting to invest in things and to make money. It's got that use case, but then it's also got the individuality, kind of aspect to it that, look, the kids love this stuff. There's no question about it. That's why this stuff's getting popular.
Right. And on the subject of kids loving it, right? The next game with NFTs might be like comic books. Like,
yes,
what can you buy? What can you buy for $1 that's going to moon and go to 100?
Yeah.
And we may be looking at, NFT projects that can moon. And then 6 months from now, you may actually be combing and looking for low cap artists that come out of nowhere. Like almost being like, you're going to have to be like a music and an art critic to make money in the NFT game itself.
Can't wait till these NFL ones come out. They're going to be sweet.
All right. Let's go back to altcoins. What's been your best investment in 2021?
Cardano.
ADA.
Cardano's done well. I had done like, I made $1 million in like 6 weeks at the beginning of the year, leverage trading, over leverage, like definitely degen trading, but I'd done really well. And then I took $500,000. A lot of people saw it on Twitter. And I moved it over to Cardano and it was at like 70 cents. And then the next week it started mooning. And so it's one of those things that it's just kind of like, I guess, really lucky timing, but the fact that I had put it out there on the channel and then, I had put it out on Twitter and then the next week it just started, it went over $1. And then of course we know, it went all the way up to $1.80 on Coinbase last week. So for me, that has been definitely my smartest move of 2021, moving 500K of Bitcoin over to Cardano.
How about you, Randall?
I think Matic is my most recent one. That was
Polygon,
yeah. And that was a TOKENMETRICS recommendation. So that was something that you've been talking about for a long time. And I saw it on TOKENMETRICS on both the short-term and the long-term recommendations. And then I also saw that it was getting 16% on Celsius. So just bought a bunch of that. And then I think it went up like 50x or something like that.
Have you made enough to move out of your bedroom at your mom's house? Or no? Because you've been in there for years.
I'm never leaving here, man. Got all these collectibles. These are pre-NFT. Okay, this is what it is pre-NFT.
I don't see a BitBoy bobblehead back there. I'm a little upset.
I'll get one eventually. Do they make them?
His background might become an NFT.
Custom one. I have a custom one around here somewhere.
Well, I'll add it to the collection when I get it.
Yeah.
Alex, how about you?
Yeah, I haven't quantified the exact percentages, but I think the best investment I made was probably getting into Yearn Finance at like 2000, or the Mactic move. Polygon was pretty good for me. Yeah, made a lot of money on them, but I invest usually small amounts into a lot of different ones, so I lose track, to be completely honest with you. But TOKENMETRICS, I think you got me on the Pi network. I've made a lot of money off that.
PNT?
Yeah, PNT. Definitely there. Yeah, made some money off of that.
Wait, Pi Network?
P Network. PNT.
No, P Network. Yeah, PNT.
Oh, not Pi Network. Because whenever Pi Network goes public and is tradable, I'm going to be rich. So, do you guys know what that is? It's
Oh,
the
PNC, P network, yeah.
Yeah,
Pi
the-
network, what is that?
Pi Network is like, it's kind of like one of these things where people outside of crypto know more about it. In those supposed to be cryptos, like these professors at Stanford, they created like a mineable network where it's community mining. I mean, kind of like Electronium or something like that, but it's not tradable. And so there was a rumor it was getting on exchange. So I like made a little video about it. Like this could go on exchange one day. And so, anyways, I got like a ton of referrals, and I've got definitely a lot of it, but I don't know if it'll ever actually go on a site. So. Well, it's one of my, a video I did that got a lot of views because there's, like I said, it's one of these things inside the crypto community. People don't talk about it, but like people that are outside of crypto for some reason, it's something they are very interested in. They hear about, I mean, kind of like BitConnect, I guess. It's not like BitConnect. I don't mean that. I just mean, something that like goes outside of crypto.
First,
Yeah, so probably yield farming Bancor when it was under $1. And the APYs were absurd, like over 100%. So that one's yielded a lot. And then also leveraged trading the Bitcoin move from the dip down to 28, 29K all the way up to 58K. Just leveraged on Polkadot, Ethereum, and Bitcoin on that big move.
all right, Bill.
We've got an analyst who did a report on a coin called Perp. It's like a derivatives futures play. This guy came out with this in January. I grabbed some. It's like this guy came out with the report. It was like at the absolute low. I look at Perp and I see a disruption of not only the crypto derivatives platforms, but I feel like it could disrupt traditional futures as well. Perp went, I don't know, from 2 to 8, hung out, got listed on Binance, spiked up to 16. That was nice, and then came back down to 8. And, I think this whole idea, like, alpha is another one we're looking at. This whole idea of disrupting Wall Street puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, you think Wall
especially
Street's gonna
especially making money off of it.
You think Wall Street's going to be like Blockbuster one day? Just like completely eclipsed by Netflix?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they are going to have a really tough time figuring out how to get involved. The way they're probably going to do it is to try to build gateways from the centralized legacy finance system into DeFi. And I'm not sure what they're going to do when they go to disrupt derivatives, securities lending, and all that. Wall Street's been around for a long time. I don't think they're going to go away, but man, those guys got to be losing sleep. When Perp went from 8 to 16, I was like, it's on. It's on.
Did you guys watch that last Blockbuster documentary?
No.
Which one?
It's on Netflix. It's like the number one, or I don't know. I think it was number 4 most watched thing on Netflix over the weekend. They just debuted. It's like so funny. Like it's Netflix created a documentary about the last Blockbuster.
Isn't that ironic? Yeah.
It is. But I was watching it and I really was thinking like, like my kid, for instance, so my kid, my 5-year-old, I've got 3 kids. My youngest one, he went out with my mom and my grandma for, a little trip the other day. And they texted me, they're like, why does he keep talking about why he hates banks and they won't let him spend money? And I was just like, all right, he's been around the house for a little bit, because it really is like the banking system really is archaic and it really is going away. Like it's just a matter of time. When you you can't even spend your money. They don't have your money there. That's why, like, if you have a debit card, they won't even let you spend over X number of dollars because there's an actual purchase coming out. And while I was watching this Blockbuster documentary, like I was thinking like, wow, we're going to see a documentary about Wall Street and the banking system in about 20 years, except it's not going to have the nostalgia because nobody loves banks. So it's just a matter of time. And it really is. I've always said, like, I've just got this phrase I've said for a long time, the safest job in America in 1995 was Blockbuster manager. Like who would have ever thought that, that would totally go away. There's one left in the world right now. It's in Oregon.
And they sell t-shirts, right? That's all they do.
No, they had the lady, her name is Sandy. I love Sandy. Seems like such a nice lady. She goes to Target every Tuesday morning and buys all the new movies and goes there and puts them on the shelf. And so they have a lot of movies there. And people visit it because, well, number one, it's near Portland. So, the people are kind of weird. No offense, Portland people. And number 2, They go there for nostalgia. People visit it from all over the country. And it really just, it's a powerful message of if you don't adapt, you die. And, I definitely think with crypto and NFTs and DeFi and everything coming, the banks are scared. Bank of America said that. They said, yeah, Bitcoin's great, but this DeFi thing, we got to really watch out for, so they see it coming.
So what project do you guys think is going to die? Is it Bitcoin? Is it Ethereum? What's the future?
Interesting.
I mean, I'll jump in and say that I'm not going to say it's going to die, but I think it's set to bleed badly. And what I'm talking about might come as a shock, but Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, we've seen this narrative of Ethereum suffering because of its scalability issues. And then you've got Matic and Zilliqa and all these faster, more scalable blockchains, smart contract networks like Solana coming onto the scene and benefiting, right? I think we're going to see that same narrative for at least a period of time, whether it's a couple months, whether it's 6 months or a year, I don't know. It might just be a couple weeks, but where Bitcoin's scalability issues fall under a microscope and we see stuff like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Nano, all these digital cash solutions that you can actually spend, because people have built up wealth in Bitcoin and a lot of them want to spend it, but you can't spend it unless your purchase is large enough. Same thing. It's the same narrative as Ethereum gas fees being high, right? There's a lot of trades you can't make on Uniswap right now unless you have enough money to justify the transaction fee. And I think we're going to see that with Bitcoin for a period of time. Do I think it's going to kill Bitcoin completely? No. But do I think it's going to make Bitcoin bleed, or could it even be the catalyst that sends us into the next bear market or next correction? I think it could be.
I would
catch up.
Oh, Bill. Okay. Can I
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to challenge that a little bit. Like
Sure.
you may be right with Bitcoin, but I just saw a chart the other day that kind of blew my mind. I saw it over on DIY investing, and he basically had the Bitcoin USD versus M1, the total money supply. And in terms of that chart, Bitcoin's not even where it was back when it was at $14,000 in like July of 2018 or 2019. So like, because they've doubled the money supply since COVID started, Bitcoin compared with overall money hasn't even, in what I think, hasn't even seen a bull run yet. Like, we've just seen the Bitcoin price go up because they're printing money and everybody's dumping money into Bitcoin. I don't think we've even seen the beginning of the 2021 bull run.
Yeah, I would have to push back too. Like I understand what you're saying. I mean, obviously Bitcoin is archaic and it is not the best technology, but kind of like Bank of America said, I keep going back to that report because it's just so fascinating. The number one use case of Bitcoin is that it appreciates in value. And that doesn't matter how fast it is. And I know all these corporations.
Really say that?
Yeah, they literally said that. They said its number one trait, why it's good, is because it appreciates in value.
That's awesome.
Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin is not anything more than that. Nobody wants to spend Bitcoin. And as long as that's the narrative and nobody wants to spend it, then it's going to keep going up in value. And you see Michael Saylor driving that narrative and Elon Musk driving it. And I don't think that's going to change. But in terms of, I do understand what you're saying, though. Like, I get the point. If Bitcoin was trying to be a currency, then I think that would matter. But I think we are going to see, like, projects that I look at in the future as having a real hard time are ones that are older technology that, are trying to accomplish, like, actually being a digital currency, something like Bitcoin Cash or something like Litecoin. And there are just far superior ones out there. I mean, like Nano, for instance, Nano's kind of a meme, right? Like, Nano's a meme from 2017, or the old meme was Rayblox. But Nano is way faster. Dash is way faster. You have these that are super, super fast that, basically, Digibyte's another one that's super fast. And so I don't really see a use case for Bitcoin Cash, honestly, rising up. I think that if you look back, if you go through all of the projects, sorry, I'm holding my comb. If you go back and you look at all the projects from 2017, when they were at their peaks, all of the projects that were, that existed, that were running, that had been around for like a year or 6 months or whatever, and you go back and you look at Bitcoin Cash, like, it will, I don't know if it'll ever top its 2017 high. And we know what it was. I mean, we know it got launched. It was crazy on Coinbase and all that stuff. But I think Bitcoin Cash is one that I kind of look at. And of course, you have the XRP stuff as well, which who knows what's going to happen there.
So do you think that we'll ever get to a point where people won't want to have their checking accounts, their day-to-day purchases done in dollars because of potential inflation? And if so, what do you think would step in to replace that?
Yeah, they're gonna want to use FedCoin because
Yep.
because that's probably the only legal currency that will be accepted in certain countries. Yeah.
Some type of stable coin.
Alex?
I'm thinking the same thing, like centralized coins. I would say something like I don't know, Binance Chain, XRP, EOS, definitely Tether. I mean, I haven't looked too deep since recent news, but from what I've seen, things like that might die. Now, when it comes to specifically the Bitcoin thing, I'm kind of on the same train. I would say that it's appreciates in value. It's the household name. It's kind of like the rare NFT Michael Jordan rookie card of currencies. I feel I don't think it's going to go away too easy. But yeah, I understand the whole scalability thing with Ethereum. When do you? I just want to ask you guys this. Probably know a little bit better than I do. When do you think Ethereum 2.0 is going to eventually come to fruition? Like seriously, like do you think it's going to solve the speeds and the fees?
I think so. So ETH 2.0 is going to launch probably in 1 or 2 years, depending on when they launch their technology. But I think with rollups from Optimism to ZK rollups, Ethereum is going to scale. I think Ethereum is the future. I think the whole issue with transaction speed will be resolved probably this year.
Interesting.
All right.
I would say I have faith that Ethereum is going to fix the problem. It may be 2023 is when they say supposedly it's going to be done by, but I don't think there's any way possible Ethereum's going to keep going if it doesn't, roll out faster. No pun intended. But they are going to be coming out with, the London forwards got the EIP 1559, and I can't remember if the EIP 3368 got approved or not. But the fact is, you see these projects expanding to other blockchains. You see none of them leaving Ethereum. I mean, of course, Cardano left Ethereum, but it was just a test net, basically. So, I don't think we're going to see any projects cash in their chips and say, we're going to leave Ethereum alone. They're all going to just be hanging around while Ethereum 2.0 fixes itself. And, when you've got like Polygon coming on, trying to bring a multi-chain ecosystem, I think that Ethereum is ultimately going to be in fine hands. Right now, I think kind of what you're seeing is like kind of almost a propaganda campaign against Ethereum by all these other chains. I mean, we know Binance has been accused of, fraudulently inflating the gas fees themselves. And I think what we're seeing is a lot of, conspiring from a lot of the other chains right now to try to kick Ethereum while it's down.
Yeah, how about that? How about that when Binance was pumping, how it stopped Ethereum withdrawals and stuff like that?
That was hilarious. I've been trying to get CZ on the show. I want to talk to him about it. We'll see what he says.
What do you guys think about Polkadot projects? All hype, or is it real?
Personally, I think it's real. I've been following Kusama for a long time. The parachain thing that they got going on there, I think is very interesting. In the context of like layer ones and like Cardano, I think they have a superior method of doing it, kind of testing things on Kusama, and then kind of launching it on Polkadot. We've been following it for a long time. I think the combination of the fact that you can connect to other blockchains is a very interesting thing. And then when you think about like Ethereum and all the network effects that they have, Polkadot coming in to steal some of that market cap wouldn't be a bad solution, I think. But yeah, I think I don't think it's hype at all.
I have a question relating to that I don't know the answer to. Because remember back in 2017 how there was Ethereum and then there was like Neo, Lisk, IOTA, and all those are gone. Are these ones actually going to take off with stuff, or are these like the bull run alternative platforms?
I think they're here. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that, they were all very speculative back then. And right now, and if you saw like all the project that launched on Neo, let's have a few laughs about that. I mean, Deep Brain Chain, how's that one doing? Ontology left, obviously. Phantasma left. Like a lot of the good projects from there, they left. Why? Because I mean, Neo was never going to really do that well. It was all speculative. And I think that when you look at Polkadot and its ecosystem, I just think that it is definitely shaping up to be something to contend with. I know I'm invested in a lot of these, Polkadot IDOs or IPOs. It depends on what you want to call them, but it's the same thing. Is initial parachain offering or initial dot offering. People just call them different things, but I'm invested in a lot of them, and they're doing really well. And you're just looking at, what's happening between Cardano and Dot is they're able to get in front of all the Ethereum problems because obviously the creators, helped create Ethereum and they knew the flaws. And so they basically were just able to do it on the front end instead of the back end. And of course, Charles got killed for doing it too slow, supposedly. But I think Ethereum is still going to be the top dog, I think, in my opinion, for the same reason I said earlier. Like, you got a lot of projects that are expanding to other ecosystems. They're expanding to Cardano. They're expanding to Polkadot. They're expanding to Solana. They're expanding to, what Cosmos or whatever the case may be, but they're still all on Ethereum. So nobody's leaving Ethereum. When places literally say, like, when Uniswap says, okay, we're going to close our Ethereum exchange here. We're just going to move to Binance only. Okay, I'll listen to you. But until that starts happening, I mean, I don't think that there's any reason to think that will happen. But at the same time, Cardano and Polkadot are definitely platforms to contend with, and they're going to have big market share, I think.
One of the things about Polkadot that I think is under the radar is the mainstream media is going to start writing about Web3. Okay. And then eventually, maybe like NFTs, people are going to start asking, gee, how do we invest in Web3? Oh, instead of it being crypto and altcoins, it'll be, oh, I'm investing in Web3. So, gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, once the media starts with Web3, that's the Polkadot narrative. And that puts us as high-class individuals, not just crypto guys anymore, because we, altcoins, TOKENMETRICS, all the YouTube channels of my friends here, we are the gateway to Web3. Powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is. I think the difference is, like, back in the day, like Ben said, it's very speculative. Now it's like interoperable. Like, they can all kind of work together in some way. So yeah, I think this time they're going to definitely stick around for the long haul.
I mean, the Web 3.0 is why I got involved in all this in the first place. Everything that. Did you guys see that? Wow, that was my Bitcoin Billionaires book. I guess the Winklevoss twins are mad now. But I think that really when it comes to Web 3.0 and decentralization and things that are censorship resistant, that is why I got in this. I mean, and so I'm so excited to see the development of this, because if I do a video on social media blockchains, like, nobody thinks that's sexy, and that's very frustrating to me because, on this channel, everybody knows we make popular videos that people like. I don't get to do as much of what I like because the audience isn't super interested in decentralized, social media or decentralized internet. And so I hope with Web 3.0 and the further development of, a different kind of internet than we're used to, that this will be something that people start to appreciate and realize that this is, it's not about moons and Lambos. It is, right? I love it when there's a moon, and I certainly am going to buy a Lambo here pretty soon, but crypto is about so much more than that. And decentralization is something I take very seriously. And, I really hope that with the Web 3.0, this is something that comes more to the forefront.
Hey, Bill,
First-
I got some huge requests on my channel to hear you speak. Everybody's like, let Bill speak. So I don't know.
I can't speak because I got to listen to BitBoy, man. Everyone's got to listen to BitBoy.
Seriously.
Let's take.
I mean, eventually, I mean, I can tell you some stories. I mean, I've got people who are texting me, watching the live stream right now. One of them is my brother. He works in a law firm. Okay. It took off, crypto took off in his law firm when somebody bought Litecoin and it went up 10% the next day. Now he's talking about flying me out for a cocktail party. I got another woman who works for a big Silicon Valley company who says she wants to spend 30 minutes learning crypto a day. And now she's got the fever, mind you, in a sideways market, to the point where she wants to, like, take a week vacation just to learn about crypto. Right. And that's what's out there in the legacy world. Like, in crypto, we're like, okay, what's hot in crypto? What's NFTs? Then there's all these people on the outside who are like, ooh, I need this. Like, we were talking about the future of money. I bet the future of money is PayPal or something that allows you to put the crypto in it And if a gallon of milk goes to $4, well, you're okay because the crypto in your PayPal, the Dash, or, the Bitcoin or the Litecoin took off. So you got the money on your PayPal card to pay for it. And there's people out there, when I run that PayPal analogy by them, or I run, hey, one day, you're going to have a centralized bank and a decentralized bank. They're like, really? And I knew everything changed. My brother asked me for some symbols on Coinbase Pro, and I gave it to him. And then I realized the world changed when he came back and said, hey, Bill, is Bancor, is that DeFi? That was the first time he said the word. Is that DeFi? I'm like, yes, Greg, that was DeFi. And he's like, yeah, how many Gregs are out there? How many people like this lady who are like, oh my God, I just bought some Litecoin or I just bought some Dash. What, I got to get Uniswap? How do I get what? MetaMask? I mean, the things that we take for granted, there are people out there that want to learn this so bad, their hair hurts and their teeth itch. I'm serious. And they're coming. So, I know there's a lot of things that may work against crypto, but, it's like that don't short the quiet market, right? And I could feel that legacy herd just like, I don't know, just like warming up the engine. So, all right, enough of me.
All right, let's take some questions from the audience. Ben, any questions from your audience?
Let's see here. I didn't see any. I mean, well, let me ask you guys about this. Somebody's been making some super chats about this coin. It's a coin that I'm a big fan of right now. What do you guys think about Phantom? Talking to the United Nations. United Nations wants to hear him talk. They got a lot of stuff going on, behind the scenes.
So our team hasn't. We've looked into Phantom from a tech perspective. It's solid. In terms of actual fundamentals, that's something we'd have to look deeper into. But tech-wise, it's a pretty good project.
I guess
So
specifically, my only thoughts. We're looking for the newer ones. From my understanding, it's a little bit older, so I can't specifically comment, but I remember a lot of good things. Smart contract platform, ERC20 token probably has faster transaction speeds. And when it comes to that specifically, you guys know, at least on my channel, we're looking at like the top ones specifically because they're going to win most of the time. So the game's all about like concentration and picking and choosing. I haven't jumped into it deep with Phantom specifically.
My suggestion is do it.
You think so?
Yeah, I hear things. I hear things about Phantom.
Well, there you go.
You guys are going to want to pay attention to it. But I think that is like you bring up a very valid point because, obviously most of the time on every channel, we're talking about the major coins. And when you start talking about a coin like Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash or Stellar, like those aren't as sexy as the DeFi projects. And we really are like kind of seeing a changing of the guard. And you got the projects at the top, right? You got Polkadot, Cardano, Binance Coin, Ethereum. But then after that, like it's a little picky and choosy down there, like which ones people are actually, interested in. And I guess are we seeing a time where basically if you don't have strong links to DeFi and NFTs, that your project just isn't going to be sexy and people aren't going to care about it? What do you guys think about that?
I think I specifically invest in trends. And I think those are the two trends. And I don't know if it's the fact that people won't care, but I would say that statistically, you'll probably be wrong if you're not investing within a trend, at least from my experience. But tell me, what do you think about Phantom? That's specific. What were you hearing around the streets?
I can't give you my rumors.
Oh man,
I can't give you my rumors, but I can tell you that I'm hearing a lot of things about Phantom coming up. We did have the big news about I think Andre Cronje had gotten involved in it somehow, and then of course you have the United Nations wanting to talk to them about their tech and about how they can use it for different things. Supply chain tracking, it was one of the things. But this is one that just, like I said, you guys know how it is in the space, right? Like when you're involved in this space, you have a lot of connections, you hear a lot of stuff. It doesn't always turn out to be true. It doesn't always turn out to be, something really massive. But Phantom is one that I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about right now. So it's one, if you don't know about it, I would say start paying attention. And, when it starts popping up, you can be like, oh, I remember BitBoy said that.
All right. Question, is that FTM, the symbol?
Yes. Yeah, FTM.
All right, I'm going to share the chart.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's FTM. And I know that I can't talk about rumors, but one of the best ways to talk about track rumors is TA.
Yeah.
And FTM went way up, and this has been working like money ever since, oh, hey, Maddie taught me this. Okay. If something holds at the 62% retracement after an initial moon, guess what? The guys at the 62% retracement, those are the real smart money buyers who are buying the dip. So a little chart, 2 cents there.
Nice. So I'm right. Thanks. So somebody keeps saying Johnny Sins. Who do y'all think is Johnny Sins? Is it Crypto Love or is it Bill? Because I don't know which one. Y'all look like y'all could be almost the same person, maybe. I mean, you're both bald. That's all I've got. I'm just trying to figure out which one of you they're talking about. They keep talking about one of you is Johnny Sins, and I don't know which one. I know who he is from TikTok. An interesting character.
All right. Forrest, what do you think? What's your top project right now?
Yeah, so I think answering that and then answering Ben's other question kind of go in the same vein of the trend the two trends we're seeing are DeFi and NFTs. And if your project isn't connected to one of those two things, is it dead? And I think there's a third narrative that is interplaying with DeFi and NFTs, especially NFTs. And it's something I mentioned earlier, and that's bringing in non-crypto people. And that's what NFTs are doing right now, in my opinion. NFTs have the power to just bring in, there's a wider array, a larger volume of people. And when you can bring in non-crypto people that aren't, crypto geeks like us, they have a lot of money and there's a lot of them. There's more non-crypto people than there are crypto people. So to answer your question, not to just harp on the same project, but for me, it's Audius, because I think that they're building a decentralized music platform and they're bringing in non-crypto people into the crypto space. They already have, last I checked, like 2 weeks ago, they had 3.8 million users so far in the month of March. So they're growing exponentially in their user base, and they have incredible backing. So if you had to ask me what project am I the most bullish on right now, as far as small caps go, or small to mid cap, it's like a $200 million market cap, Audius. Anything that can bring in non-crypto people, I think that's going to be a huge narrative and a huge trend that's not as obvious as NFTs or DeFi. Those are the obvious ones, but the reason NFTs are so hot right now is they're bringing in non-crypto people. And if you can find projects that can do that, it's like a double whammy of a hidden gem.
What's more important, retail investors coming into crypto from other sources, or big money institutional investors that already know about crypto?
Well, to make the price go up, it would be retail investors, because the big boys buy it over the counter and we don't see that in the books. That just changes supply. So if we want the price to go up, the answer would be the retail FOMO.
Yeah, or retail investing. So instead of doing, my brother, again, going back to him, he's like, should I just do the dollar cost average, like put so much money in every month with crypto, just the way I did my S&P fund? I was like, well, you might want to be actively manage and pay attention to your crypto, because, there can be the 40% uh-ohs. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's the guys who are doing Schwab and TD Ameritrade or S&P mutual funds all of a sudden figure out that they're not going to wait for their financial advisor to tell them to do crypto. They're going to be like, I got to get 15% of my money in this now. I mean, I knew that legacy was coming when I had a woman connect with me on a dating app who was a financial advisor who wanted to learn about crypto.
Oh my God, that's hot.
Wait, Bill, tell me more about your dating life.
Hey man, I work for TOKENMETRICS. You know what I'm saying?
So it's pretty good. One thing that I wanted to touch on there, how you said dollar cost averaging, and so for like a long time I was very pro dollar cost averaging, and I still am, because it's like the easiest way to get in at a good price. But there is an article on Medium about dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, and it turns out that, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's something like 78, 79% of the time you're better off just plopping all of your money in, as long as it's not the top of a bull run or coming down. I made a whole video on that, but so dollar cost averaging, I've been doing that since I started in crypto because it's just easier. But if statistically, it seems like plopping it all in. As long as you're not buying the top, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I know a guy who started got his grandma into dollar cost averaging, and he's just like, you know, her average price is 10K and she's never selling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's it.
What do you guys think about the Coinbase IPO?
Oh man,
They just pushed it back today, right? They pushed it back to April.
They did.
Yeah, I think so. I saw a story got past me about it. I didn't read it, but I'm going to assume the headline was correct. They pushed it back, and it, you know, it's very interesting that Coinbase having a lot of problems right now. Nothing to do with the actual site itself or problems, but you know, they just got basically in trouble for wash trading, and you know, it's just they got a slap on the wrist. It's not that big of a deal. I think they had to pay like $6 million, or it wasn't even that much, I don't think, or maybe that's how much they traded it. Maybe it was more than that they had to pay. I can't remember exactly, but you know, as they're going public, they've got a lot of this kind of bad press going on at the same time. It makes you wonder if, you know, who's behind that. I don't know, but I'm not investing in IPO. I'm waiting for, you know, basically the price to come down, and then I am going to grab some Coinbase stock, but I think it's certainly going to launch overvalued. I mean, I think that the valuation is $100 billion. They do $1 billion in revenue a year. I mean, you can do the math there.
Yeah, my question would be, an honest question here is, why take the additional risk of investing in Coinbase versus having just exposure to the underlying crypto assets? What's the argument for that? Would be my question. And
Just diversification. That's
diversification.
all. I mean, we all think that there's going to be a bear market. I think most of us think that. Maybe you don't think there's going to be a bear market. I think, you know, 90% of us in crypto believe there will be a bear market. And so what we're doing is, I mean, we're already dollar cost averaging out, you know, cash to run our business, you know, over time. And so we're looking for other places to put that. And, you know, of course, we're still, you know, making more money on the gains than we're pulling out. But, you know, we want to make sure that when it's time to go through another bear market, that I never do what we did through the last one, lose all our money. So, you know, we're looking for stocks to invest in. And, you know, we actually have a stock segment on my channel every week now on Fridays. I've got a guy, Justin, from A Couple Cents on YouTube, who comes on, and we're going to talk about all kinds of different stocks. And I like the idea of continuing to invest in tech stocks. And of course, we're in a different situation. Probably all of us on the stream are in a different situation than the average person out there watching this. I mean, we've already got enough exposure. Trust me, I own almost every coin on Coinbase, with the exception of, you know, XRP. So, you know, I think that, you know, for me, it's just a diversification thing, and it's something to do with your gains. It's not something to do, like, if I had money to invest in one or the other, I'm certainly investing in crypto. We just feel like we've got, you know, enough in crypto right now to move over and, you know, build a stock portfolio.
The thing about the Coinbase IPO is, I realize it's apples to oranges, and we actually wrote a small piece about this. If Coinbase is worth $100 billion, what's Uniswap worth?
Yeah.
Now, I know it's stocks to a token, but I'm watching Uniswap press its high right before we got on here. I swear to God, the day that Coinbase IPO prints 100 billion, regardless of whether it goes straight down or not. I mean, legacy people may FOMO into that just to get involved. But the day the marketplace says Coinbase traded at 100 billion, the whole DeFi space has to catch up to that. Because if Mr. Market accepts, I don't know, 100 billion, 70 billion, whatever, I mean, what's 1inch exchange worth? Look at what Galaxy Digital, Novogratz's hedge fund, GLXY, is doing. They got the similar revenue as Coinbase at a quarter of the valuation. So the thing about the Coinbase IPO is, if Mr. Market acknowledges that as legit, the whole crypto space is too cheap. All of it.
Hey, Bill, your dating life may be even better. Stephanie in my chat just said you have a really nice smile.
Well,
A lot of people asking about that dating life in my chat as well.
Okay, do you guys want the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, so currently, I just moved to San Antonio, right? So I'm working in a crypto firm. I'm in San Antonio. I'm near the Riverwalk, and so far, it's actually been kind of a flaming disaster. It's like crypto's going well, right? But like, you know how you try to buy that nice altcoin and then it just like goes to zero? that's what it feels like is happening. Now, naturally, if we can use the live stream experience and, when people find out I do podcasts and YouTube, that does make me cooler. I am 51 years old. So there's hope, okay? Because the bigger the base, the higher in the space. And right now I'm making a base at a very low level, hoping for the moon takeoff. So that's, as we say at TOKENMETRICS, that's the market update.
So ladies in the Santa Fe area or San Antonio area, make sure to hit up Bill. Yeah. He's got a nice smile.
Yes.
And he's a young 51. I mean, got a long time left. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to be here for 5,000 Ethereum. Go ahead.
Hey, baby, you want to see my NFT?
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's going to get them.
This is going to go degen fast.
Look,
here.
I'm married. I've been married for 12 years. Okay. I'm out of the game. I've been out of the game for a while, so I can only live vicariously through you. So,
all right. Well, we'll have to have a live stream about just that. I'll take notes.
I think it's called Love Connection. So,
all right, I think let's wrap things up here. Any last words you guys want to share with the audience?
Stephanie, call me. No, sorry.
Oh God.
Sorry, I'm done.
Wow, Bill is very desperate. This is good. I would say, just seriously, guys, pay attention to what everybody is saying about NFTs. There's a reason we're all talking about the same stuff. It's because this is the next big thing. And, you look at a project like Chili's, it's got to correct at some point, right? But, you can also look at what happened in DeFi in 2020 and say a lot of those projects never corrected, throughout the whole year. And I would just say, pay a lot of attention. I know that if you've been in this space for a while, you're interested in Chainlink and you're interested in Binance Coin, and it's kind of hard to change that way of thinking to think about these NFT projects that are basically, digital beanie babies are the next big thing. But I would just say, wake up because it's here.
Randall?
I don't think you asked what coins we think are going to do well. So I was looking, I think Litecoin is going to do pretty well because it's an oscillator, and Willie Woo's done a whole thing on oscillators versus degenerators. So out of all the oscillators left, Litecoin is the one that's set to pump. So that's my take on things, my final words. And also thank you guys for all your support over the past week with me dealing with a serial scammer. It's been a headache, but I couldn't have done it without your guys' support. So thank you.
I would end this by saying, it's not all about finding the altcoins. I think some people in the audience might be a time to start creating some type of business within cryptocurrency. And I would like to motivate people because, believe it or not, guys, I was on the other side of the screen at one point, and now I'm here with them. And you could do the same thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, raise your hand if you thought you were ever going to be a YouTuber. I didn't. Yeah, nobody did. You just sit in front of your computer and make videos, and then all of a sudden, other people watch them. Give it a whirl.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty fun, I will admit.
And you don't even have to wear pants. Nobody can see down there. It's awesome.
That's right. I'm wearing sweatpants right now, but I would say that's definitely true. And I just, I said this, the whole reason why I started my channel was, Wells Fargo got rich selling shovels and flashlights during the gold rush. That's how Wells Fargo became a thing. And so I always tell everybody, if you want to get involved in this, it's not just about going and mining for gold. It's how can you sell shovels and how can you sell, in cryptocurrency, what we all do, we sell education. I mean, it's free. All of our content here on YouTube is free, obviously. But, something happens along the way when you're doing that. You also get super educated yourself and you learn to make better investment decisions. So it's kind of a win-win-win situation. So I'd encourage anybody that wants to get involved. That's a great way to do it.
Boris?
Yeah, I'll echo that. The sentiments already that have been mentioned, but I'd also add just what we've been talking about is pay attention to the narratives, right? The narrative right now is NFTs. The narrative has been DeFi. When the next narrative does come along, make sure you're on that. But right now it's NFTs and DeFi, so pay attention to the narratives.
Bill?
The legacy herd is coming. And the investor class is going to come, and people that need to protect their purchasing power and be able to buy that cart of groceries at a big box retailers are going to discover crypto, right? Not just the music platforms. I know that stuff's great, and that stuff is going to change the game. but I continue to believe that the common person is going to figure out very quickly that their currency is depreciating in value before their eyes. These people are coming to crypto. Litecoin, Dash, Bitcoin, whatever they can get their hands on through an app.
All right, thank you, Bill. My last words: not being in crypto, as we keep on saying, is a financial crime. Get into crypto. Get your friends into crypto. Tell them to tell a friend to get into crypto, because crypto is going to change the future. It's the future of money. So thank you, Randall. Thank you, Alex, BitBoy, Forrest, Bill. Great show, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right. Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you.
Mhm.
See you guys later.
All right. Thank you, everyone.